YouTube, how we doing, family? It's your boy, Yo, and there's another episode of Yo Hoops. I go through every NBA game every day. Today's Friday, January 23rd, and we have an 8-game NBA card. I'm gonna walk you through my thoughts and let you know what sides I like, so please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your favorite game in the comment section below. Without further ado, let me get into today's recap. Recapping yesterday, I dropped my highlighted play of the day. I took Musa Diabate of the Charlotte Hornets to go over 8.5 rebounds. I mentioned it yesterday, he averages 8.2 in just 24 minutes, so against a taller team like the Magic, I figured they need him on the glass. To my surprise, the Hornets were blowing them out by 25 in the second quarter, so Musa only ended up playing 16 minutes. Mind you, the Magic were 6-point favorites. He ended the game with 10 points and 4 rebounds, one of his weakest performances of the season. I definitely didn't have me becoming a fade god on my bingo card for 2026, but hey, here we are. I'll have to go back and calculate the exact run, but I believe I'm on a 10-game losing streak, now 3-17 highlighted in January. I'm really not a fan of today's card, so I don't have a highlighted play, but I'll let you guys know my thoughts per usual. Without further ado, let me get into today's games. In our first matchup, we have the Houston Rockets in Detroit taking on the Detroit Pistons. Pistons are minus 185 on the money line, and the total is 218. The Rockets come into this one on the second leg of a back-to-back, flying from Philadelphia to Detroit. It looked like they were going to get it done last night against the Sixers, but the game went into overtime and they lost it 128 to 122. I don't like the rest factor considering everyone played over 35 minutes and their best player is 37 years old, so that doesn't help. I'm seeing Cade Cunningham and Duncan Robinson being upgraded to probable. Detroit probably dominates this game. I'm taking the Pistons laying the 4.5 as my first selection of the evening. In our next matchup, we have the Boston Celtics in Brooklyn taking on Brooklyn Nets. Celtics are minus 340 on the money line, and the total is 216. Looking at the injury report, Derek White is ruled out, but Boston is still clearly the better team. We just saw the Nets lose by 60, so I don't know how much 8 points in our back pocket is going to help, but if I had to play it, that's the way I'm leaning. Everyone and their mother is on the Celtics, and the line opened at 8.5, so I doubt the books are giving away value, closing it in the Nets' direction. More than likely one I'm staying away from, but I'll probably sprinkle a few dollars on the spread and on the money line. I'm taking the Nets plus a 8 as my next selection of the evening. In our next matchup, we have the Phoenix Suns in Atlanta taking on the Atlanta Hawks. Suns are minus 160 on the money line, and the total is 232.5. On the surface, this looks like a good spot for the Suns. Jalen Green's back, and they're coming off a 3-game winning streak. They're currently the best team in the league against the spread, but I've let you guys know before, I don't see them ending the season covering at a 75% clip. They were undervalued playing through injury earlier in the season, but I won't be surprised at all when they quickly become overvalued. The last time we saw these two teams play was on November 17th of last year. That game was in Phoenix, and the Hawks won it 124 to 122. I think inserting Jalen Green into the lineup will take away from Dylan Brooks and Devin Booker in the short term at least, and that very well may cost them tonight. I'm taking the Hawks plus a 3.5 as my next selection of the evening. In our next matchup, we have the Sacramento Kings in Cleveland taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavs are minus 525 on the money line, and the total is 233.5. Cleveland's obviously the more talented squad, but at the end of the day, these are the two worst teams in the league against the spread. I can't say I see a huge edge either way, but I definitely don't feel comfortable laying 12 points with the Cavs at home. That's where they play their worst basketball, now 7-18 against the spread on the season. I can't expect them to get a dominant win all of a sudden just because it's the Kings. They've got Sabonis back. I can see them putting up a fight. I'm taking the Kings plus a 12 as my next selection of the evening. In our next matchup, we have the Indiana Pacers in Oklahoma City taking on Oklahoma City Thunder. Thunder minus 950 on the money line, and the total is 227. Both teams are dealing with a handful of injuries, so let me walk you through the IRs. We know Halliburton and Toppin are out for the season, but besides that, Indiana's only missing Benedict Mathurin. The Thunder have Isaiah Hartenstein, Jalen Williams, Alex Caruso, and AJ Mitchell all ruled out. Then Aaron Wiggins and Jalen Williams, the center, are both listed as questionable. At full strength, I'd be more inclined to lay 16 points with the Thunder, but considering they're extremely banged up, and this is a rivalry that went to a game 7 less than a year ago, I'm definitely grabbing the points. I'm taking the Pacers plus the 16 as my next selection of the evening. In our next matchup, we have the New Orleans Pelicans in Memphis taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies are minus 220 on the money line, and the total is 239.5. This is more than likely a game I'm staying away from altogether. The Grizzlies come into it with all types of injuries, but at the same time, the books have them priced as pretty big favorites. Memphis has played through injury all season and currently have 8 more wins than New Orleans, so it's probably safe to say their role players can compete with the worst team in the league. Like I said, probably my least favorite game on the board, but I'll lean to the Grizzlies laying the 5.5 as my next selection of the evening. In our next matchup, we have the Denver Nuggets in Milwaukee taking on Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks are minus 280 on the money line, and the total is 214.5. It's tough with the Nuggets because their entire starting lineup is either out or questionable. They're also on the second leg of a back-to-back, so we really won't know until game time. If Valanciunas plays, he'll probably be able to slow Giannis down a little bit, but I can't confirm he's playing. For me, this one really comes down to not trusting the Bucks role players. I don't trust guys like Kyle Kuzma or Gary Trent to keep me competitive, and at the end of the day, the Nuggets are 7-5 straight up since Jokic went down. If you're giving me 8 points in my back pocket, I have to take it. I'm taking the Nuggets plus the 8 as my next selection of the evening. In our next matchup, we have the Toronto Raptors in Portland taking on Portland Trailblazers. Raptors are minus 145 on the money line, and the total is 225.5. The Blazers come into this one on the second leg of a back-to-back, but no travel as they remain at home. They blew out the Heat last night, so most of their starters played less than 30 minutes. Love Denny Advia back in the lineup. Assuming he plays tonight, the Blazers are winning this game. I've been let you guys know the Raptors don't have a true point guard to facilitate down the stretch of close games. That'll be on full display tonight. I'm taking the Blazers plus the 3 as my last and final selection. And that's going to conclude today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. The streak somehow continues. My Fade God era really in full effect. I'm going to have to change my name to Book It with Yo. Shit's crazy. I'll keep my head down and do what I do. Whether it's rocking with me or fading me, I greatly appreciate all of it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I do this every day for free, so please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It's your boy, Yo. And until the next one, I'm going to catch y'all. Peace.